This week with the famed Jazz Festival in full swing. The PGA Tour is in town, and so is Kobe Bryant, who's got a closeout game before him and his Lakers against the stubborn Hornets. The two-time defending NBA champion Lakers up 3-2 over New Orleans. Welcome everyone to the Big Easy. Kevin Harlan alongside Reggie Miller. Cheryl Miller is on our sidelines tonight. And Reg, you've been in the same position, a closeout game on the road. How hard is it to do?
Well, it takes focus and commitment. And the Lakers, more importantly, Kobe Bryant, they're the ultimate closers. Kobe, over the last 8 closeout situations, he's averaged 30 or more points. The Lakers going 7-1 throughout that time.
Let's take a look at the starting 5 for both teams. A lot of great matchups up and down, as we've seen in the previous 5 games. What's one you're going to watch early tonight?
Well, down low. Pau Gasol has played better games 3 through 5. I think he's suffering that upper respiratory illness. He's feeling a little bit better. In game 5, Carl Landry really struggled. He was the second leading scorer up to that point, only 8 points and 4 rebounds. He's going to have to be more active around the basket. We heard Monty Williams saying he's going to have to go in there and try to finish. Stop laying the ball up and go in strong.
If there was one thing that was the trademark in game 5, as you took a look at Kobe walking in and now on the floor, Monty Williams, the head coach, the first-year head coach for the New Orleans Hornets, said some of what they did physically, speaking about the Lakers, was not basketball. What did you think of the physical style that was exhibited by the Lakers in that game 5?
Well, it's the playoffs, and this is the time for teams to step up. And you know, when you listen to Phil Jackson, he's like, look, you know, the moniker on us is that we've always been a soft team. So if you know, you got a rookie head coach and the youngest team left in the playoffs experience-wise. So this is the champions trying to send a message to the younger team.
And you sense that the Hornets facing elimination, no one thought they would get to game 6. People thought they were going to get swept by the Lakers. You think they're feeling any jitters tonight at all? I would think they'd be very loose and free.
Well, you've got to play loose and free because you really have nothing to lose. And this is a chance for this young team with this great home court atmosphere here.
It is.
With these fans on the edge of their seats just to go out and play.
Our crew tonight, Mike Callahan, Ron Garrison, along with Tom Washington. In game 5, the Lakers won by 16, their most convincing win in the series, 106-90. And here we go with Chris Paul, obviously in the crosshairs of LA's defensive assignments tonight. And this is Ariza, who has been playing very well in this playoff so far. Bellinelli coming off a wonderful game 5 where he was shooting and hitting all kinds of shots. And the ball right there turned over on the over and back. 21 points from Bellinelli. The Lakers will get it. And of course, all eyes on Kobe. He twisted that ankle pretty hard here on Sunday night. It's only been a handful of days. We'll see how he comes out tonight.
But didn't go through shoot around this morning. Elected to stay off the ankle. The swelling is down. A lot of ultrasound and stim on it. We saw some of those fantastic finishes in game 5. It looked like that ankle loosened up.
Here's Okafor picking up a quick early foul. Early foul problems have been his issue in this postseason. And him staying out of early foul trouble has been important to the Hornets when they have played well. And here's Pau Gasol. He's had his own issues. Working on Okafor. Good looking rebound inside by Trevor Ariza, and here comes Chris Paul the other way. He leads both teams in scoring. He's been terrific in this series.
And I think that's why Phil Jackson has elected to really set up this game inside out, because they've gotten Carl Landry and Okafor in early foul trouble.
Landry with a little mismatch there going up against Bynum. They can't get it to go. In game 5, the two teams were hitting all kinds of shots to begin. There's a nice screen by Pau Gasol. Working on Ariza, who's got Kobe, and back into Pau. And a foul, another one, called inside on New Orleans. With a little more than a minute gone here in the first quarter. Bellinelli will pick up his first for New Orleans.
Well, Kobe Bryant's trying to send a message to Chris Paul saying, you're not the only one that knows how to play in a 2-man game. Nice little dump down pass there to Pau. Slow rotation by the Hornets over. Kobe at that 6'7" height, seeing over the defense there in that high pick and roll situation with Pau Gasol.
You take a look at his numbers right there. A 16.8 rebound, 4 assists, 3 block shot game 5. Still, though, below his seasonal average of 19 points and 10 rebounds a game in the regular year.
Well, like I mentioned at the top, you see games 3 through 5. I think he was a little tired in games 1 and 2. I don't know if it was because of the sickness or what. This Hornets team is a team that Powell has dominated during the regular season. He almost shot 71% from the field and averaged 22 points and 12 rebounds.
This is Bellinelli right inside to Gasol, who knocks it away, and it will be off of New Orleans. So Powell, and you mentioned this upper respiratory infection that he had early. He's feeling better, they say, day by day, game by game.
Well, really, he's running it out. Anytime you get up and down, you run it out of you, and you start to feel better. But I like what the Lakers are doing right here. Everything is going through Powell or Andrew down low.
Trying to push it inside. It's Artest. He'll put up a 3. Missing badly right there and picked up by Chris Paul. This is where they excel. Bellinelli into Kobe Bryant. They'll go to the line. Bryant will pick up the foul. Number 1 on Kobe. 10-14 to play here on the first. Time now for the Cold Hard Facts presented by Coors Light. Your keys for this game 6.
Well, 19 turnovers in game 5. Way too many for the Hornets. Going against an experienced 2-time defending champions. 10 or less. Already they have 1 turnover. Limit the Lakers' easy points. You cannot let Powell and Andrew Bynum as well as Lamar Odom off the bench get that low position down low. Supporting cast. Okafor, Ariza, Bellinelli has come out, been very aggressive offensively. You see him at the free throw line. And is this going to be another special night for Chris Paul? Game 1 at 33 and 14, and then game 4 the triple-double. He's going to have an unbelievable performance if he wants to get back to Los Angeles.
Even when he didn't play all that well in the last game, he still had 20 points and 12 assists. Bynum with the screen, switch on D, it's Gasol. Watching Bynum catch and slam. And he went up against Carl Andrews to give the assist to Powell.
Well, there was a 4-5 pick and roll between Powell and Andrew Bynum. And Okafor and Carl Andrews switched.
It's not bad, huh?
Yeah. Versatility. Usually you see that with Lamar Odom with that second unit when he's in there at the power forward position.
Okafor across the lane. That is over Bynum. That's the first hit. So New Orleans has started this game 1 of 4 from the field. Kobe the other way, and Ariza's got the defensive assignment. Artest, Fisher. Fisher had a great start to game 5. Hit a couple early shots. Fans there, as you can see. Chased by Ariza. Picked up by Okafor. And here comes Chris Paul. Kobe's got him. Ariza in stride. Good screen by Okafor for Carl Landry. Now, Landry's coming off his worst game of 8 points in game 5. He's an important guy, as you were talking about earlier.
Well, they don't have David West again, out with the MCL injury in March. And he might be their best low post, mid-range shooter out of the big. So he's got the quickness when he's going against Powell.
Kobe has not shot yet. Chris Paul hasn't shot yet. Artest against Bellinelli. Bellinelli watches a 25-pound heavier Artest working against him all night long. Kobe Bryant with his first miss on his first shot. Bellinelli the rebound.
Situations like this, the Hornets really need to get out quicker in transition.
Paul, Landry, by Artest into the rack and picked up by Okafor. Oh, he gets it to go. Okafor's got 4 early points. Boy, if they can get him going, and they really have it in this series, that would be huge for New Orleans.
Well, already they have 2 second chance points and 4 points in the paint, something that is going to be a theme as this game goes on, and the Lakers wins. They've dominated that paint area.
Kobe finding Powell. Knocked away a block shot, and then put back up and in by Bynum. After Okafor had gotten the ball, that stops a 6-0 run by the New Orleans Hornets. Watch Okafor again, because he is finding a little room, little breathing space inside.
Something we didn't see in game 5 from the Hornets, in particular Okafor really attacking the offensive glass here. Look at the 2 purple jerseys around him, and Bynum and Gasol. Nice finish there on the backboard.
LA just had to delay a game, and one more becomes a technical situation, so we'll keep track of that. Screen, that's a foul, offensive foul. That goes on Chris Paul, and Paul will pick up the first.
Already 2 turnovers here in this first period. We talked about the Hornets taking care of the basketball.
Bynum and Okafor. Again, beginning every game with pounding it inside. Here comes Paul. Lakers have started 2 of 8. Catch by, he could not hold on, and it was a bad pass by Chris. That is the third first quarter turnover for this New Orleans team, and as you said, they cannot turn the ball over.
Well, in their 3 losses in Game 2, 16 turnovers. In Game 3, 14 turnovers. In Game 5, 19 turnovers. Can't do that when you're playing a potent offensive team like the LA Lakers. But Kobe might have tweaked that ankle right there, trying to come off that down screen.
It's a 3. Bryant fans, picked up by Landry, and Bryant is favoring the foot, grimacing as he goes the other way, bouncing like a ball off a wall. Paul against Powell, inside. Rebound by Gasol. Here comes Kobe Bryant, grimacing the other way.
What happens when you have a twisted ankle or foot? Any little tweak, it's going to be a little bit of a setback as Kobe is trying to walk it off. And he's definitely walking ginger on that left ankle.
Ariza picks up the foul. We know that he wears his own signature shoe. A lot of fans have been telling us, well, of course we know that, but they've also made a high top especially for him, but he has not worn that with the bad ankle. Artest for 3. Rebound by Paul. Ron Artest has started 0 of 2. Ariza, fast start, last 2 games. Fanning there. Ariza has had 16 points in the last 2 first halves of this wonderful series.
Monty Williams. This is a smart timeout and a lucky timeout for Monty Williams because you've got to talk to your team. Too many outside shots. He wants them attacking the basket.
Before the game started and asked him how his left ankle was feeling, kind of shrugged his shoulders and said that he was okay. But Reggie and Kevin, you mentioned that he tweaked his ankle, but you ask any of these Hornets fans, they'll think he's playing possum again.
Well, we'll find out, Cheryl, but we've got some video proof here that he did tweak it. We'll show you in a second. Lakers are shooting 20% from the floor. Artest tries to take it inside, knocked it away moments ago with the Ariza defending.
Well, look at his left foot as he's coming off this screen here, just tweaks it right on the foot of Trevor Ariza. It's not a turn, but a tweak, and those things just re-aggravates it over and over again as Artest couldn't come down with the offensive rebound.
And Kobe Bryant has started this game 0 of 3. Lakers 2 of 11 as a team. Bryant has been on Paul. Fisher now on Paul, leaving a little bit of Bellinelli. Rebound by Bynum.
Bellinelli coming off the 21 points, 8 of 15 from the field. Already 0 of 3 himself.
Foul on Gasol. Looking for him inside. The Lakers tried to shove it through. Number 1 on foul. Much to the chagrin of Phil Jackson.
Bad pass here by Bynum, trying to go down low to Powell. Okafor doing a good job of getting in that passing lane, coming up with the deflection.
In Game 5, after the first quarter out in Los Angeles a couple nights ago, New Orleans led by 9 at the end of the first quarter, 13 of 16. Tonight they have started 3 of 10. Both teams not shooting well. Landry. It's over to Gasol. Rebound by Artest. Lakers have missed 4 consecutive shots as they come the other way.
Well, Lakers shooting 18% and the Hornets 27%. Talk about lockdown defense here in this first period.
Fisher with the left hand soars in for 2. His first of the tie at 8. Both teams are playing great in that first quarter. Everything was dropping in Game 5. Hornets have missed 4 in a row. Okafor.
Talking about Game 5, the Hornets shot 81% in that period.
That's the 4th turnover.
It doesn't even look like the Hornets have learned from their mistakes as Kobe Bryant with the up and under gets his first basket to go. Already 4 turnovers in this first period.
Kobe had 19 points, 8 of 13, but those 2 dunks were spectacular. Artest watching the shot by Ariza. Like I said, Artest weighs about 25 more pounds than Trevor does.
That's why you got to use speed against the strength of Ron Artest. And that's exactly what Trevor has been trying to do throughout this series.
And Bellinelli about the same build as Ariza, and he also about 30 pounds less. Here is Gasol. That is over Landry. Stepping out of bounds is Trevor Ariza. Aaron Gray is going to come in.
Got Kobe Bryant up and under right here against Bellinelli. Just gets him off his feet, and thought he was going to use the glass on that, but he doesn't have that same lift that he normally has. We don't know about the ankle, but again, we saw two spectacular finishes in Game 5.
Green has come in for Bellinelli. And Gray has come in for Okafor. The two changes. Here comes Bryant. Goes inside to Bynum. Odom has come in for Gasol. Those are the changes coming out of that inbound. And here comes Chris Paul. Now Kobe's on him. Gray may set a screen. He does. That opens up the door, but Paul continues to search, and the shot clock is down to 11.
You see how Kobe Bryant got over that screen? That's what the Lakers haven't been doing. They've been allowing that switch to occur.
Artest digs it out. Ron with his second ball. Green watching Kobe Bryant. Kobe hitting his second consecutive shot. He's got 4.
And this is the disadvantage that Monty Williams has with Bellinelli because of that 6'5", 6'6" frame goes to the bench. You bring in Willie Green, a combo guard, but he only runs 6'1", 6'2".
Green going in. Bynum throws it away. Picked up by Odom. Back out to Kobe Bryant. Averages about 30 points a game in closeout games. Phenomenal numbers for Bryant. Inside, Bynum. Over Gray.
See how big the target that Andrew Bynum gives Lamar Odom? I mean, he just pops into that lane and just widens out, all taught by Kareem, just to get big down low.
Now they're using their size. They're pounding it inside. Lakers on a 10-2 run. Bynum scoring here.
Already 8 points in the paint for the Lakers. Andrew Bynum making himself big down low.
Chicago Bulls in the East. Boston, Miami already set. That'll be Game 1 Sunday on ABC. TNT will have Tuesday. We've been watching the energy level of both teams so far. What have you read early in this game?
Well, I'm a little disappointed at the energy level of the Hornets in a closeout situation where you eventually could be going home as Willie Green gets his second shot attempt to go. You've got to raise your level of intensity. That's why Monty Williams has elected to go to the bench and try to find some punch.
Kobe is out. Shannon Brown is in. Leap it high and soaring for 2. Very athletic Shannon Brown, who played a very physical Game 5, comes up with a quick deuce, and the assist goes to Lamar Odom.
Where is the communication at the defensive end here for the Hornets?
Green was 4 and 7 in Game 5, working on Brown. Finding Landry. That's the guy you pointed to, circled early on with an early 4 as Kobe takes a breather.
Well, back-to-back possessions for the Hornets of guys attacking the rim. Willie Green, both times taking the ball off the dribble. Good results down low.
Paul reaching in. And a quick foul. It's called on Chris Paul. Number 1 on him moments ago during that timeout. Here's what the coach of the Hornets said to his team.
Way to work. Way to work, Trevor. Keep getting stops. You're all right. Keep getting stops. Hey, in transition, you have to run hard. You'll get these guys a shot. Run hard.
Fisher just hit a shot. 18-14. Lakers on top by 4. That was Chris Paul's second personal foul. Kobe has 1, and here comes Paul. So Fisher hits again. He's 2 of 3. Another good start for Derek Fisher. Green over Brown. That's a 3. Rebound by Lamar Odom.
Talk about Chris Paul picking up 2 personal fouls. We talked to Monty Williams. He's like, look, it's going to be a long night for Chris Paul. We'll have to keep him out there 48 minutes. He's going to play 48 minutes.
Good screen by Gasol. Artest fans again from outside. Artest arguably has been the MVP. Certainly the most consistent guy in the Lakers in this series. Lakers have a foul to give. Ron has started this game 0 of 3 for Los Angeles. Landry, Green, and Ariza. And that is a whistle. And that is a turnover. Yep, that is the 5th turnover With a little shove inside, it goes on Aaron Gray, who picks it up. His first.
You're Monty Williams. You're very fortunate in this first period to have shot 35% with 5 turnovers and still only be down by 4.
How about this? Bellinelli and Paul combined, the 2 guards for the Hornets, 2 points. Bryant and Fisher a combined 8 as Blake comes in for Fish. Here's Gasol working on Aaron Gray, who was a huge story in game 1, knocked away by Paul. The galloping Ariza, and Artest from behind. 2. And possession.
It's going to be 2 free throws and possession.
Yep.
As it clearly looked like Trevor Ariza was ahead of Ron Artest. There's the steal by Chris Paul. There's the foul by Artest. Clear path.
Yep.
What a big play here for the Hornets to end this first period. If Ariza can knock down these 2 free throws.
Artest picks up his first foul. Here is Ariza at the free throw line. During the season, he was a 70% free throw shooter. He has improved that in this series. And you take a look at what he's done over the last 2 games in the half view. First half 32, and he's kind of tailed off in the second, but the numbers have been sparkling, and he has kind of jump-started the team, I guess, when you take a look at the combined 32 points last 2 first halves.
Well, he gets the teams going, in the first and second period offensively. But look, his primary job is to guard Kobe Bryant and Ron Artest, and I think that's really almost like a boxer is wearing on him in the later rounds, and I think that's why he's getting tired in the 3rd and 4th period.
4th different guy to guard Paul. This will be Blake this time, winding down the first quarter. The chance to tie Paul. Ariza for the lead for the 3. Picked up by Gasol, and that takes us to the conclusion of the first in this elimination game for New Orleans. An unexpected Game 6 in the Big Easy at the end of 1. The Lakers by 2 on TNT.
Lead the Hornets 18-16. Joining me is Coach Phil Jackson. And Coach, I noticed that you took a timeout in that first quarter around the 6-minute mark. What didn't you like?
Nothing about our offense. Guys weren't shooting the kind of shots we get out of our offense, and we weren't, rebounding and doing the other things to make the offense work.
It looked like Kobe might have tweaked his ankle. How does he look to you?
That's it.
Thanks, Coach.
Here we go, starting the second quarter. Matt Barnes is checked in. Blake goes to the rack. Bynum off balance into Green. Tips it back up and in. 8 points for Andrew Bynum, coming off an 18-point, 10-rebound Game 5. So Blake and Odom and Barnes and Brown and 1 starter in there right now, and that is Bynum, who just scored. Here is Jason Smith in for the first time tonight for New Orleans. Jared Jack has come in for the first time. Green, Bellinelli, and Okafor, who gets it. And there is a 3-second, or is it a shove? It is a 6th turnover. It is a foul. It goes on Okafor for the 2nd time, and moments ago this was Bynum.
I think they're calling 3 seconds.
Well, they just announced a foul. They just said on the loudspeaker a foul. 3-second violation. They go over and correct the guy here over on the scorers table.
Well, I'm curious to see now with Monty Williams, Chris Paul out the game, no points, 0 for 1. And we're down 2 at the start of this second period.
Odom from outside, Smith on it. Bynum in a crucial rebound. Hemmed in. A shove inside, a Laker foul. That comes with less than a minute gone here in the second quarter. Phil Jackson trying to close out this series. Traveling violation inside on Odom. Is that what they called?
Well, I'll tell you what, on the weak side there, Marco Bellinelli just got thrown to the ground by Matt Barnes, who's had his hands full trying to guard Ron Artest.
Bellinelli takes it inside, going right at Barnes, and comes up with 2. It was a travel on Bynum. There was a lot of pushing and shoving inside. Lakers played a very physical Game 5. That's what the Hornets were expecting tonight. Here comes Steve Blake, and he's picked up by Bellinelli. Brown on top. Barnes working against Jackie. Back to Lamar with the shot clock down to 5. Bynum. He's out of his range. Let's see what he does here against. Oh, a great shot by Bynum.
Wow.
Has he come to play tonight in this closeout game? He's got 10 points and 5 of 7 from the field.
Well, I disagree with you a little bit. Has he come to play tonight? How about this whole series offensively as Jack gets his first shot to go? Andrew Bynum has been fantastic through 6 games thus far.
Green picks up the foul as he tries to get the speed merchant Shannon Brown. That's the first on Willie Green. Well, I say that because the score like this early in the game, usually it's been nice and distributed through each quarter, but tonight he is off to a blazing start.
Well, think about all the question marks that came into this first round series. Remember, he didn't play the last 2 games. And look at him attack the offensive glass.
His size is too much for this smaller Hornet team.
And he missed the last 2 regular season games because of that right knee injury he suffered against the San Antonio Spurs.
Green wheels inside. Shannon Brown was riding him. There's a foul on Shannon Brown. He picks up number 1.
But when anyone drives on the Lakers, who's not putting a body on Andrew Bynum? I know you're trying to come over and block the shot. You've got to continue to put a body on Andrew Bynum. 7 rebounds already through this.
Green from outside. He can't hit the shot. Here comes Barnes. Kobe is resting. Ryan has got 4 points, 2 of 5. He played the first 9 minutes of the game. Chris Paul is resting. He's got 2 early fouls in the game. Barnes over Bellinelli. Rebound by Emeka Okafor. His 3rd rebound. Paul on the bench watching his teammate Jack weave. Jason Smith, Bynum, and he dips it right to Brown. That is a turnover.
Yeah, that's an offensive foul on Andrew Bynum. Yep. Jack doing the smart thing of almost basically jumping in the way of Andrew Bynum as he was trying to sprint right to the front of the rim.
That is what you call a bulldozing move. Bynum picks up his first foul. Hornets facing elimination. Tonight they want to attack the rim, get to the free throw line, and that's the physicality of the Los Angeles Lakers. As Ariza comes in for Willie Green.
They want to add taking care of the basketball, which they have not done.
5 turnovers. But you know the Lakers will. Oh, what a nice move by Chet with the crossover inside.
Offensively, in that game 1, he had 15 points, and that surprising win for the Hornets really has struggled offensively since.
Blake, Jack defending. I was going to say the Lakers have really not cashed in on all those turnovers by New Orleans. So it's really gone unaffected in that category so far. The quick double. Okafor ripping it away. They call it jump ball. That's the way he's got to play. Emeka.
Aggressive defensively. Bynum just turns into him and gets the jump ball. But how about Jared Jack offensively? Splits the double team, crosses over the teardrop.
Time now for the Cinco Stand of the Night presented by Corona. You can see playoff series averages since 91 of at least 24 points, at least 6 rebounds, at least 10 assists. Legendary names like Johnson, Jordan, the great Steve Nash, the 2-time MVP, and Chris Paul. And we see him coming back out. You know, we talk about Michael Jordan and what he's done to fight through injuries. Kobe's doing it right now. Chris Paul has had some injuries, a jammed left thumb and bruised hips, they say, very sore hips for Paul.
And look at the eye, butterfly on the eye, got hit by inadvertent elbow by Ron Artest. But at this point in time during the year and season, everyone's banged up. But you're right, the amount of pick and rolls that Chris Paul throughout the course of a game and all the bumping and grinding, especially going into the paint and taking the pounding, you're wondering if it's taking a toll.
Okafor and Bynum will jump the ball. Each team shooting 39%. Kobe remains on the bench. And some conversation there, Tom Washington.
Tom Washington and Andrew Bynum.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Blake, alley-oop, intercepted by Okafor. 5th turnover. Paul. Ariza slashing inside, right over Blake. And that ties the game with Ariza. Reggie putting in his 6 points tonight.
I think these Hornets have gotten the memo from Monty Williams. Put your head down and attack the paint. That's the only way we are going to have a fighting chance against the bigger Los Angeles Lakers.
Barnes, Blake, shot clock at 2. Steve's fire. Aggressive rebound inside by the 6'10", Jason Smith. Now here comes Ariza, and Barnes meets him defensively at the other end. 7.5 to play in the first half here from New Orleans. Weaving Paul. Pick it back to Smith. Okafor, right to Odom. Jack is back defensively. Good scoop feed to Barnes. Nice feed there by Lamar Odom. And 2 for Barnes of the Lakers.
See what happens when you shoot jump shots against the Lakers. You can get out in transitions because what Monty Williams said, the guards don't have to go down on a rebound because of their big front line. That's why you have to attack the rim against the Lakers to force their guards to be underneath so they can't get out in transition.
Jarrett Jack had that terrific shot last time we were in New Orleans in Game 4 on Easter Sunday night. Just ties it at 26. Jack has come off the bench. He's got 6 all in his second quarter. A 3 by Brown, 8 on the shot clock. Smith. The teams a combined 0 of 8 beyond the arc tonight so far. Here comes Paul. That by Brown.
Much more energy now here by the Hornets. They've really gotten this crowd back into it.
Paul got airborne. He got a screen, so he had the matchup against Bynum, and he skirts right around him, and Andrew may have thrown a little shove right there. Bynum will pick up the foul, so he's got 2. Here comes Landry in for Smith, and here comes Kobe Bryant and Gasol back in the game. Gone is Brown. Bynum will now take a breather for the first time.
So Phil Jackson continues to go down low. With Bynum coming out, now it's got to be Powell's responsibility to continue to attack the paint area for the Lakers.
Kobe sat out about 20 minutes in real time. Jarrett Jack. Odom with the rebound. Lakers were -4 with Kobe sitting out. Kobe's got it. Ariza defends. Okafor. Now he has really tightened his aggressive screws tonight with his 4th rebound. Jack is aggressive as he takes it inside. Chris Paul so far 0 of 1. Has yet to score. Okafor the screen, knocking out Blake. Little reach in there by Steve Blake. And a whistle with 5:48 to play. Blake picks up his first personal foul. Timeout, second quarter. Elimination game.
26 apiece. As Kevin Harlan mentioned at the top of the show, a lot going on in this city. We got some professional golf, we got the Jazz Fest, we got the Hornets trying to extend the series, and Lord have mercy, y'all, we got food. I'm talking about catfish. Kevin Harlan, eat your heart out. Oh, Lord. Oh, no, that's good.
It's not polite to, it's not polite to talk and eat at the same time. Landry outside. Landry hits from outside. The Hornets get their first lead since 8-6 early in the first quarter. You think it's just a matter of more energy by the Hornets to get back in this?
Well, first and foremost, their energy level picked up, which they had to, especially here in this great home court atmosphere, but really attacking the lane has really started to open up those mid-range shots for the Hornets.
So they get back in. Each team is led by as many as 4. Jack picks up his first foul, but it just seemed like they were going through the motions to start things in an elimination game, but you're right, it looks like they're speeding things up a little bit more aggressive.
When you're the team that potentially can be going home for the summer, you've got to play with a sense of desperation.
Odom right down the middle for his first 2. He's also got 4 assists and 4 rebounds since coming off the Jackson bench. The Hornets come the other way with a 60% shooting second quarter, although Chris Paul has yet to score 0 of 1. So it's Paul and Jack, Landry, Okafor, and Ariza with it right now into our test. Kobe watching shoot. Another rebound, number 5 for Lamar out there with Fisher and Powell, and our test back in the game, and Kobe on the floor. Kobe Bryant with 4 points, 2 assists.
Understand what Jack is trying to do, but when you've got a wounded duck like Kobe is, not 100%, you've got to take him all the way off the dribble and try to get into the paint area.
Gasol 0 of 3 so far. Shot clock at 3. Kobe's got to find. Woo! How about that? Right down the middle. Kobe, his first field goal since 3.5 to play in the first quarter. That is the first made triple tonight.
You really have to pick your poison with these Lakers. They're trying to get the ball out of the hands of Powell down low. Opens up that outside 3 from Kobe Bryant.
Bryant's got 7. Odom now is on Ariza. Shot clock down to 3. Going up, Artest was defending Carl Landry with 2 on the shot clock. Ron picks up his second personal foul.
Well, we're talking about pick your poison. Look at the defense here by the Hornets. Look how low Powell gets. If you don't get to him early, this is what's going to happen. Kobe Bryant with the 25-footer. That's the complexity of when you're going against the Lakers. It was Andrew Bynum and Pau Gasol, who both at times are going to require double teams. You're going to leave someone open on the perimeter.
No missed free throws in the game so far. Landry, in fact, had a string of 20 consecutive free throws earlier in this series as we take a look at the upcoming NBA playoff games on TNT. Coming up next from Portland, the Dallas Mavericks, the Portland Trail Blazers, and then all these Game 7 possibilities on TNT on Saturday in Orlando, in Dallas, perhaps in Los Angeles.
What a great Game 6 day-to-day this is. You got Atlanta and Orlando going at it. Phillips, as this game is going on, this Game 6 and following us.
Here comes Fisher, 2 of 3 with 4 points, and Gasol. Kobe and Ariza. Paul is on Fisher. Jack is watching Odom. Into Okafor. 2 in a row for Lamar Odom.
Body control there by Lamar Odom. But he was going to settle for that outside shot. He elected to put the ball on the floor. He's really struggled in this series shooting-wise.
Points in the paint, so important right there. Lakers +6 in that category. Odom, by the way, coming off a 13.7 rebound Game 5. He's picking up where he left off in Ariza. Okafor, he's 2 of 2. 3 of 3. Emeka Okafor. He's got 6 points and 4 rebounds.
Something we have not seen throughout this series. Offensively, Okafor, we know about the defense, really struggling with the fouls, but you've got to continue to put pressure on the Lakers big. Make quick moves.
The Lakers are shooting 43%. They find Artest, who got great position inside with the mismatch. Good feed from Fisher, and Fisher comes up with his second assist tonight.
I don't think Monty Williams has anyone the size of Ron Artest to be able to handle him down low. That's why he's getting his hands on so many offensive rebounds.
Kobe with the knockaway, picked up by Fisher. Paul will let him go. Because Chris Paul, he's got 2 fouls.
He has 2 fouls.
Exactly. Now the lead 5, and this is the biggest Laker lead tonight.
Always, it's all about closing halves and quarters. Monty Williams can make this game. It's a 5-point game right now.
Hornets at 43%. That's an offensive foul. Landry will pick it up. Number 1. Kobe Bryant, 4 of 8, 9 points. They get the steal, the 2 at the other end. Their biggest lead tonight so far. We're late in this first half. New Orleans has committed 8 turnovers already, and you were talking about turnovers and the magic number for that team coming into the game.
Well, yeah, 10 or less. And if you continue to turn the ball over against a potent team like the Lakers with that inside out, you know, you're asking for trouble. And Lakers are doing a good job of coming up with deflections. They're moving their feet. They're coming up with offensive fouls, and they're converting at the other end.
So you've seen the Lakers perhaps carry over their Tuesday performance into tonight.
Oh, this team is used to these Game 6 closeouts. Last year, Oklahoma City tied it 2-2. Oof. Talking there's another offensive possession for the Lakers.
Now he'll attack the rim. Missing there, 2 in a row misses by Kobe, 4 of 10. Ariza against Fisher, little mismatch. Powell was looming behind. And again, Paul in 19 minutes, 0 of 1, not a single point. Bellinelli over Gasol, tough shot. Knocked right back to Fisher, ahead to Bryant. Fisher started 2 of 3, Knocks in another one. Fisher was terrific in the last game. He had 13 points. He knocked down 2 threes, and tonight Fisher in 17 minutes, 6 points and 3 assists.
He's the one guy who can space the floor for the Lakers on a nightly basis. Now, Marco Bellinelli is just jacking 1 of 6 from the field, only 4 points.
He's had one good game. That was the last one with 22. Here comes Kobe, and Bellinelli is defending. Doubled by Paul. That means Fisher is there. Good ball rotation to Odom. Right into Okafor. And Okafor will pick up the New Orleans foul. And it comes with 53 seconds to play. That's the second on him. As we spend a second with our award-winning Ernie Johnson in our TNT studios in Atlanta. EJ, thank you. I know you liked the Hawks picking up Heinrich in midseason.
Steady point guard, really a combo guard. When I had a chance to play with him when he was in Chicago, he played the shooting guard position and was able to guard taller and more physical shooting guards. But moving to that point guard position, along with Joe Johnson and setting those athletic wing players up. Larry Drew, you've got to be very happy with the work of Heinrich.
Odom put together a nice game with 5 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in 15 minutes. No fouls to give either way. Paul is on Barnes. Paul 0 of 1 over Matt. Finally got one to go.
And what is that, the 5th player, Matt Barnes, to guard Chris Paul in this game
right,
alone?
5 different, you're right. 12-second difference, game clock, shot clock. Bryant throws it away. That's turnover number 6 for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Look how hard Chris Paul has to work for his first basket. Can't get all the way to the rim, settles for the little crossover of Matt Barnes, but very important possession here for the Hornets. Go in down 6 or 4, possibly 3 with the 3-pointer.
Fisher is on Paul. Barnes looks like now going to close things up. Green has come in the game. Dancing on Barnes, over Gasol, tough shot, and the Lakers limit the Hornets to 41% shooting from the field with their defense. They themselves, the 2-time defending champs, shoot 45%. They get a terrific first half from Andrew Bynum with 12 points and 7 rebounds. Kobe's got 9 on a 4-10 shooting display. The Hornets only get 2 from Chris Paul. The Lakers close the half on a 9-4 run. In this closeout game for Los Angeles, up by 6, next Atlanta on TNT. Routine, so let's take a look at what you said might happen and what has happened.
Well, if you're Monty Williams, you're very fortunate that you're only down 6. You didn't take care of the ball, 8 points, and only 8 assists. We talked about the inside presence of the Lakers, already +8 in points in the paint. Bellinelli really has struggled from the field. Coming off that 21 points. And Chris Paul has been very pedestrian. But I'll tell you what, when we talk about the Lakers and inside presence, everyone thinks it's Pau Gasol. But in this series, the most consistent low post threat has been Andrew Bynum. And I love what Phil Jackson has really established each and every game at going down low to the big fella. And he's found a rhythm and a groove, and they trust him down low. And we talked about Chris Paul, game 1, 33 points, 14 assists. Game 4, a triple-double. The Lakers have caught the memo. They need to be physical. They're bumping him, and he's really struggled offensively to find a rhythm in the first half.
So the Hornets are down by 6, Cheryl, here at halftime, facing elimination.
Yeah, well, Coach Williams told me that in the first half they really didn't force the issue as far as attacking the basket, getting to the rim, which meant they didn't get to the free throw very much, 6 times. But he did say something that was very interesting, Reggie, when you talked about a rhythm for Chris Paul. If you have to look at it, he said the Lakers did a great job of crowding him defensively. He said, it's my job to find ways to create better spacing because look, CP3 is going to have to carry us in the second half.
Well, Cheryl, you know, he's averaged at least 14 field goal attempts per game in this series. Tonight, just 2. We just saw just 2 attempts in this contest.
And I think the Lakers really has taken it upon themselves as a team. And we've already seen this in the first half. 5 different Lakers have guarded Chris Paul. From the small and Derek Fisher and Steve Blake to the very tall and physical Ron Artest.
Artest has room to fire. It's a miss 2. Bellinelli with the close, picked up by Ariza. Here comes Okafor with a sturdy first half under his belt. Bellinelli, Landry, Ariza with the ball, and Chris Paul on the floor for the New Orleans Hornets. Shot clock here is at 10. Lakers starters on the floor. Bynum comes over along with Artest to crowd the area for Bellinelli. Shot clock down to 3 with a floater. He got it to go. Marco Bellinelli with 6.
Well, to the credit of Bellinelli, he really stuck with that play. And in that first half, I thought he was trying to be aggressive by taking the ball to the hole. It just, he couldn't finish.
Kobe 4 of 10 over Ariza. And Gasol may have been the last to touch it. He was.
Look at the defense of Ron Artest right here. He really just forces, you call it down right into Powell, but Bellinelli with the nice shot attempt for his second field goal.
Paul probing. There's a good theft. It's made a 9th turnover. Bynum gets it. 9 turnovers by the New Orleans Hornets. Kobe. Bellinelli's on him. Bryant soars in. There he goes. Another 2 for Kobe Bryant with 11. I'm assuming with the ankle injury that he can go straight north and south better than he can go east and west.
Yeah, you can't move laterally when you have twisted or tweaked ankles, but
look, that time you kind of did everything going around.
I'm going to put the ankle thing to rest. It's enough. He's fine.
He's playing.
He's playing and he's performing.
They double Okafor. Shot clock at 4. Landry. Ariza by Artest. Not in time. Yep, shot clock violation. Now with the 6-point lead, the other way will come the champion Lakers.
Just look right here as he's just staring down Bellinelli right here. Takes him off the dribble, and here comes the contact from the center and Okafor, and just really twists his body in the air. Talk about guys being able to finish with contact. When you think of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, certainly you could put Kobe Bryant's name in there as finishing at the rim with contact.
Bellinelli picks up the foul for New Orleans. His second personal foul. 2 minutes gone here in the third.
Tell you what, whenever this series is over for Marco Bellinelli, he is going to sleep for a week straight after all the pounding between Ron Artest and Matt Barnes trying to keep them off the offensive glass. It is wearing him down.
Ariza's on Kobe Bryant. Shot clock at 2. Kobe. And picked up by Paul. They greet him with the wall. Ariza will go inside, and Landry is right there. Landry with 10 in 21 minutes.
This Paul's trying to implore his teammates to come on, run with me.
Kobe with the slash, met a couple. 2-on-1. Paul and Bellinelli. Fisher decided to go after Chris Paul. That's a basket right there and a 2-point difference with about 3 minutes gone here in the third.
Chris Paul, that's how you run a typical 2-on-1. You make that lone defender commit to the basketball.
Artest 1 of 5. Fisher 3 of 4. Gasol 0 of 3.
He's had 2 or 3 guys who could have took that shot.
Paul 1 of 3. Kobe is 5 of 13. Bellinelli is there. Powell Gasol. This is over Landry. And Powell with 6 points and 4 rebounds.
Back-to-back baskets here by Powell Gasol in this third period. Did a good job there of facing up, using that 7-foot frame issue over the smaller defender.
Lakers have won 3 of the last 4 games in this series. After New Orleans took game 1 in Los Angeles. Then won game 4 here. Here is Ariza from outside. Okafor climbing and drawing the foul. He picks up his 3rd personal foul.
See if this is a push or a shove in the back, right? And Andrew Bynum, who had position, had a body on Okafor. You see the flailing that goes in at the end. Okafor's line, 3 fouls, 6 points, 3 of 3 from the field. Williams is going to have a decision to make here. Got to be very careful you don't pick up your 4th foul.
Gasol over Okafor. Rebound by Trevor Ariza. In the rebounding category tonight, the Lakers +3. Paul. Test comes out now, the mismatch, and Chris might try to exploit. He's done it before against bigger players, and sure enough, he'll dance here, but he can't find the basket. And Paul, 1 of 4. Kobe. 4 fouls. Is it Ariza or Okafor? Let's see who's going to get it.
It should be on Okafor. And he's saying I was standing in one position and Kobe drove into me. Talking about dancing right here. Kobe gets into the lane and Michael might have a beef right here. Because what else is he supposed to do? He's a little bit late rotating over. He has his hands up. Nonetheless, picks up his 4th personal. Looks like Aaron Gray's getting ready to check in for Okafor.
Kobe has 12 TNT this June. Fear the skies, face the enemy, fight for survival. From TNT and DreamWorks Television. Falling Skies. Series premiere this June only on TNT.
And we talk about Aaron Gray coming in and the 2 wins for the Hornets. He's 8 from 8 combined from the field in the 2 wins. Really has struggled in the losses. Now with Okafor going to the bench with 4 personal fouls. Let's see if Aaron Gray can bring that level of consistency out of those 2 wins here in Game 6 for the Hornets.
Lakers have just tied their biggest lead tonight. Here's Ariza. Gray and Bynum down low, and Trevor Ariza over on our test. A long 2 for Trevor. He's got 8 points. Kobe and Bellinelli. Fisher lasers it inside. That's a 3-second violation, something Monty Williams was complaining about. The lack of 3-second calls in the Lakers earlier in the series. That is the 8th turnover for Los Angeles.
Really, Monty crying to the officials and pleading about the banging down low of the bigs of the Lakers.
Paul, Ariza. Fisher goes out on Trevor. He nicely swing the defense, rotating Artest out on Paul. And there is a New Orleans. Did he step out of bounds or was it a foul? He must have stepped out of play. Threw the ball. Yeah, just look. Wasn't sure if his heel had hit, but what happened was he threw it off of Powell. Tried to at least, and he missed. And then Landry got it. That was hard for our vantage point. That's 11 turnovers now.
Tell you what, how do you miss the knee of Pau Gasol on that?
Big knee. Pau Gasol this time from outside. Pau Gasol has gone 3 of 7, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 8 points. He's got 6 points in this 3rd quarter.
7-2 guy knocking down shots like that, facing up.
Ariza. Gasol with the rebound.
Now everything seems to go, has
a jump
reverted back to a jump shot for the Hornets.
And that's when they get themselves in trouble. Gasol nicely into Bynum, who stick with it and puts it back in. And a timeout for New Orleans. Bynum size, 14 points. Kobe's got 13, Gasol's got 8.
22 points combined from Gasol and Bynum. They're 17-2. When they get 34 or more, working well together.
And they've got their biggest lead tonight. Sports Illustrated this week, after his triple-double on Sunday, admitted that he did not play that well the last game, even though he had 20 points and 12 assists.
He's got to be superhuman.
Yep.
You know, without David West. You know, David West is the one interior player who's tough, physical, takes hard fouls, and at the end of the day can score points from you. You're missing 19 points and about almost 10 rebounds without David West.
Here is Gray. Okafor's out. Shot clock at 7. Paul getting a screen from Gray. The mismatch up, booted away by Chris. Bellinelli had a block by Gasol. Powell active here, especially in the second half. And that is a second shot clock violation against the New Orleans Hornets, and approaching 5 to play in this third. Look at Monty Williams, who when he got the job this summer had a lot of phone calls to Chris Paul saying, why do you run this? What's your read on this particular play? Want to better understand his point guard.
Well, it's so important, very much like in the NFL. You know, your quarterback and head coach have to be on the same page. Same thing in the NBA. Your point guard and head coach have to be on the same page when it comes to the design of your team and the look of your team.
Here's the screen. Fisher fights through again. That is a foul. It's on the Lakers. It's on Derek Fisher. First on Fish, and there goes Gray. Here comes Benga. There goes Bellinelli. In comes Green.
And I like this move here by Monty Williams.
Do you?
This was the same unit in that Game 4 here that they won that really energized not only the Hornets but this crowd. Benga can run the floor. He's very physical. He knows this Lakers won a championship with this Laker team. Have to get some type of offensive production from the role players.
Andrew 4 of 8, knocked away by Bynum. Out of bounds it goes. How about Andrew Bynum's game? Second block right there. 22 minutes, 14 points, 8 rebounds for Bynum.
Well, one time we're talking about trading Andrew Bynum. He's too brittle. He's never going to come up big for you in the playoffs. Well, I tell you what, if this round one is any idea of the future for this young man, it's very bright.
I just think had he been healthy in these past playoffs, they still won championships inside Bynum. Fighting for it. Artest comes up with it, and Kobe's got it. Into Ariza. By Ariza. And dashes to the rim. Rockets to the rim. Kobe Bryant.
My goodness, Kobe Bryant taking on the whole Hornets team. Look at this play. 2 Hornets go down, and who's the one man standing?
Landry picks up his second. Kobe will be at the line, Ernie Johnson, as we swing it to you in our TNT Arena in Atlanta. EJ, thank you. Kobe from the line tonight, 3 of 3. Odom has just checked in for Andrew Bynum.
When Lamar Odom comes in this early for Andrew Bynum, who's been playing fantastic, that lets me to believe that maybe Phil Jackson, the way Andrew Bynum has played in this game and in this series, he may give him a little bit more minutes come fourth period time. Normally he doesn't play in the fourth. He's all down to Ariza.
Ariza's had a game tonight which has consisted of a 4 of 8 display from the floor. He's got 10 points. He and Landry both have 10. Chris Paul's got 2. He's 1 of 4 in 28 minutes, and now he tails Fisher. Knocked away by Benga. You talked about his active hands. Here comes Paul the other way. Green from 14. On transition. Timeout taken by Jackson, who is yelling at Odom coming off the bench. Did not get back. So 54-46 Lakers, under 4 to play in the third from Louisiana. With them, Monty Williams has always said, you know, we're best in transition. We're pushing the ball, not letting the opposing defense get set up. But in this series, that has not been a big factor, part of their attack against the Lakers.
Well, hey, I'm going to give a lot of credit to the Lakers defense for their transition defense of getting back and clogging the lane. But you've got to make shots at the end of the day. And when your shooting guard is struggling offensively, especially when he's running the floor, it makes it very difficult. And a lot of times the Hornets are just settling for outside shots.
Bryant was literally held. Benga got a hold of his arm. foul called on the former Laker, former Maverick, DJ Benga, who picks up his first personal foul, just checked in the game. First on him. Want to know how Kobe performs when Pau is on the floor versus when he's not? Dig into NBA stats like never before with NBA Stats Q. Only on NBA.com. So hit the line. Kobe Bryant, a perfect 4 of 4 tonight.
I don't think I've seen Phil Jackson so demonstrative throughout that timeout, throughout this series. There was something out there. This Laker team got up by 12, and really the lackadaisical nature of them is to let teams back in it. These guys are going for a three-peat. You can't have a slack-off effort, and I think that's why he was trying to address Powell and Lamar Odom. Can't give careless turnovers and let this team back in it.
All 6 of Bryant's free throws have come here in this quarter. 6 of 6. Here's Jason Smith just checking in over Gasol. Jason Smith hitting again. He's come off the bench. He's got a couple points. 8 minutes on the floor, couple rebounds. Had some nice minutes the other night. In fact, sprinkled throughout these playoffs. He's been putting in some baskets and giving him some size. Gasol goes with authority inside and fouled by Smith, who hits the deck. First on him.
This is the move I've been waiting Powell to see. Not waiting for a double team. One dribble off the floor, going up, getting the contact.
They just changed the foul. They just changed it from Smith to Benga, who picks up his second. Powell, Ernie Johnson is at the line as we go back to you in Atlanta. Big news from that series. Thank you very much. Ernie under 3 to play now. Paul to the rack. And one of the first times tonight that he's had an open lane to the hole. 4 points. He's 2 of 5 in 29 minutes. Chris Paul of New Orleans.
Slow rotation by the Lakers, weak side, and you're right. Chris Paul, who's been hounded all evening, finally gets a wide open layup to go.
Gasol with 10, 6 boards. Lakers have not scored from the field in over 3 minutes. Benga and Gasol. Good rebound. Artest. Gasol. Great hesitation by Pau Gasol inside.
Ron Artest, not only is he strong on the offensive glass, but how about the pass in traffic?
Benga snaps it outside. Green for 3. 1 of 7 3-point shooting tonight for New Orleans. But a big free there coming to within 7 as we're under 2 to play here in the third.
At some point in time, Hornets going to have to come up with some stops here.
Crowd now for the first time tonight really into it. Artest double. Shot clock at 6. Kobe Bryant.
I'm talking about an answering machine.
20 for Kobe. 11 in the third for Bryant. Paul. Green against Kobe. Into Fisher. And a Laker foul.
When you're talking about the rope, crowd back into the ball game. Look at this. The defense is tilted. How can you leave Kobe Bryant, one of the most dangerous scorers this league has ever seen, so wide open behind the arc? Look at the resume there. Without someone who read the scouting report.
Green at the line. 7 of 7 free throw shooting for New Orleans tonight. Lakers 11 of 12. Lakers are +8 in rebounding. Not a good sign for New Orleans. And in the turnover category, we've got 10 for LA, 11 for New Orleans.
We were talking about points in the paint. 32-26 advantage for the Lakers. Second chance points, 12-2 for the Lakers.
Willie Green now at 9. Diving inside is Lamar Odom. He's filling up every category. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for Lamar.
So these teams have really picked up their shooting here in this third period.
Ariza aggressively inside. Can't get the reverse. Benga vacuums it in. Green for 3. Ariza attacks the rim and a foul. Gasol from behind. That was the Hornets' first offensive rebound since midway through the first quarter in this elimination game. Foul Gasol number 2.
Well, look at this UCLA shuffle cut right here. Usually you don't see your power forward running that shuffle cut off of Powell, but Kobe Bryant recognized that the defender got tripped off. Wide open shot for Lamar down low.
Ariza has had to become the second option. Maybe not your first choice is that, but he has become that with the injury to David West. But in this series, as you can see, averaging 16 points a game, he has been invaluable for New Orleans.
Yeah, the second leading scorer in this series behind Chris Paul for the Hornets. You're right, Carl Landry got off to a good start, but really in Game 5 has struggled offensively. And that's been the toughest thing for the Hornets, is to manufacture points against this stingy Laker defense.
Gasol with a 10-point quarter going here, working on Benga. His former teammate, they played each other a lot in practice. Benga knew how to play him. Oh, they take it away with Artest! Flex the guns. Grabs it away, that's right. If you got him, show him.
Ron Artest is just playing absolutely out of his mind for the Lakers.
10-point lead, final seconds of the third. It's Smith. Artest knocks it away. Fisher. Kobe. Going up, fouled on the play, and they try to quickly separate him. Kobe Bryant smells blood. When he gets that look.
Well, I tell you what, he's not the only one that's circling in the water. It's Ron Artest as well. The true warrior right here, just using his size and his strength and just throwing guys to the floor, coming up with that steal. This is what Kobe's talking about, the hard foul here by...
He leaned into him. You can see it.
It was a flagrant one. Didn't even make a play on the ball. You know what? But Monty Williams has been looking for this from his team.
Flagrant one. Bryant at the line and Kobe from the stripe is a perfect 7 of 7. A look at Monty Williams, first-year head coach, learning a lot in that role for New Orleans. Paul with a little talk there with Duke Callahan.
He talked about the one thing during these playoffs that he was going to learn was the details that go into every possession. The spacing, the fundamentals, the rebounds. Each game takes a life of its own in the playoffs. And for a rookie head coach, that's what he's been learning. He talked about looking down at the other bench and looking at Phil Jackson, the way he coaches timeouts, when he uses them, how he's managing his star players.
2.6 to play. Kobe with 22 points, and he's authored 13 here in the third. He had a big quarter in Game 5 as well. Here comes Odom to inbound. Bryant, defended by Ariza. Here it goes, and just that close. But Kobe Bryant puts his fingerprints on the third quarter. It's a closeout game for the champion Lakers. At the end of 3, the Lakers on top, 69-57 on TNT.
69-57 with me is Coach Williams, and Coach, just heading into this fourth quarter, what do you tell your players, and as far as getting them settled down and hunkered down?
We got to generate some offense. We're getting enough stops. If you can hold the Lakers to 69 points, you'd be happy with that. We got to go to the basket. Jason had a hard foul that we don't condone dirty play, but we got to play physical that way.
Did you like that hard foul?
I like the hard foul when it's within the rules of the game, but we got to play the game. We can't blame the refs. They're doing a good job.
You said the Lakers were doing a very good job on Chris as far as crowding him. How do you create that space for him?
Guys got to make shots. If we make shots, he'll have more room to go.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Ball is only 2 of 5. Thank you, Cheryl. We're in the fourth quarter. Smith just hit a shot after getting the hard foul on Kobe Bryant. Matt Barnes is in, working into Ariza. Wide open three, Shannon Brown. Offensive rebound by Bynum, who collects his 9th rebound with 14 points. The third quarter for the Lakers saw Kobe put in 13, Gasol put in 10. They scored 23 of the Lakers' 29 points in the third.
Ball movement of the Lakers, side to side, second shot opportunities, and then what happens at the end of that? Either a deuce or a three by Lamar Odom stretch this lead to 13.
The third Laker three. Odom with 10. Paul getting a screen from Smith with the floater. Rebound Benga. Green for three. Rebound Odom. By the way, Bynum has been so active rebounding. 7 offensive rebounds tonight for Andrew Bynum. Quick double on Odom.
And 7 of his 9 rebounds at the offensive end.
Blake missing the three. Brown taps it to Barnes. Here comes Odom. Now the mismatch. Blake against Smith. Bynum. Wow, he is on his game tonight with 16 points. And Andrew Bynum 8 of 13.
That's 5 quick points at the start of this fourth period, all on 2 offensive rebounds.
We'll be taking a breather. Paul is out there. Ariza tonight with 12. Trevor Ariza, where they're setting the wall and trying to pack it inside. They foil that shot right there. Double-double now for Bynum with his 10th rebound. Ernie, 74-59 here. Lakers begin to pull away as Lamar takes it in a congested lane. We send it back to you in Atlanta.
All the Hornets Smith, his second, team first.
Odom with the rebound. Here comes Blake. All is on him. Bynum. Out of bounds. Shot clock at 11. Hornets 7 of 1 of 6 shooting. Quarter and a timeout taken. So to our international audience, we say for a moment at least, Auf Wiedersehen.
Are you kidding me?
Auf Wiedersehen. Let's welcome back in German. Here we go with a nice shot outside. It's taken by Shannon Brown. So Brown has hit for 2. We got 2 at the free throw line from Odom while you were gone. Hornets' largest deficit of the series. Good stuff, Pat. It's Pat McGrath, ladies and gentlemen. Here's our statistician. 9-0 run by Los Angeles. It's Ariza. Landry. Corkscrewing in. So we got Landry with 2. Odom, 2 free throws.
Nice move here by Carl Landry. Something that's been far and few in between with him these last 2 ball games. Points in the paint.
Landry's at the line. 4 years out of Purdue. While you were away, Lamar Odom hit 2 free throws. Shannon Brown hit a mid-range jump shot. Landry just hit a shot, was fouled on the play by Odom for the first time, hit the free throw. Lamar with another shot. That was a 3-point try.
Oh my goodness.
Another offensive rebound. Bynum picks it up. Bynum now has got 8 offensive rebounds, 8 of his 11 rebounds on the offensive glass. That has been enormously important for the Lakers tonight.
Tell you what, this first round, if they do end up winning, which it looks like they will, Andrew Bynum has been the MVP for Phil Jackson and the Lakers.
Ariza picks up his 2nd personal foul. The Lakers have made their last 13 consecutive free throws. Shannon Brown is at the line, 7:40 to play. Let's take a look now at the upcoming national game schedule. Tomorrow on ESPN, they've got a beauty in Memphis. The Spurs and the Grizzlies, game 6. What a thrilling call last night by the Hall of Famer Dick Stockton as he made that call in Oklahoma City with that great finish. And then we had the wonderful call in the San Antonio-Memphis game with Pete Pranica, the voice of the Memphis Grizzlies. We had 2 wonderful back-and-forth games last night on TNT. But thanks to our friends at NBA TV. Here comes the drive by Odom, the feed from Blake. The Lakers are running away. The Hornets have their largest deficit of the series. Kobe has put in 22 to lead LA. Bynum has been spectacular. 82-62, the champions. The Blazers from Texas, the Dallas Mavericks, game 6. Dallas on top in that series. And then coming up, game 7s if necessary. We already have seen Atlanta win. They'll play Chicago in the 2nd round. Here, the Lakers beginning to pull away. Bellinelli with a fadeaway 3 picked up by Barnes. When they ask you about the performance of Chris Paul, 37 minutes, 4 points.
You know, I just think throughout the course of this series, 5-6 different Lakers guarding Chris Paul. It's worn him down and it's taken its toll. We don't know about the thumb injury, the left thumb, and remember he got whacked in the head by Ron Artest in game 4. But these Lakers can play physical when they want, and I just think they have really been physical with Chris Paul the last 3 ball games.
Jack to Okafor. They're playing grab bag inside, and that is a whistle and a foul. It will go on Barnes. Well, during the last timeout, the first-year head coach of this New Orleans team, Monty Williams, talking to his team.
Listen, let me tell you something. I don't care what the score is right now. We got to keep playing. There's no freaking way in a playoff game they get a transition layup like that. No way. We got to play it out. You play it out no matter what.
And that's the key. Play it out. You're down by 19.
I've loved the message. Every time we've got a chance to talk to Monty Williams, he is so focused and prepared each and every game. And we talked about this is the youngest team in the playoffs. Well, Trevor Ariza has won a championship. Chris Paul, only player in the history of the game to average 20-plus and 10-plus assists in this game. They've got to find a way for this young team to find some resolve. And he's absolutely 100% right. You play this through. You don't want the Lakers. This is a team that you're going to be facing down the road.
Okafor picks up his 5th personal foul as you take a look at the difference tonight. Points in the paint, offensive rebounds, second chance points, things that we've talked about this entire playoff series. As we've got Bynum at the line, who drains another. TNT this June, they're turning the courtroom upside down. This much fun should be illegal. Franklin and Bash series premiere Wednesday, June 1st, 9/8 Central on TNT with 6:13 to play in this one.
I hope Phil Jackson The longer the Lakers go, that he continues this strategy of getting that young man involved, Andrew Bynum, offensively. I think they had a coming of the minds right after the All-Star break when they had a chance to sit down, and he really defined his role. And to Andrew's credit, he understood, look, I've got to be a better defender, and it's got to start with me with rebounding and defending. And once he accepted that, and the Zen master himself, he said his offense really took off because even though they're not running a lot of plays for him, he's been so active in the paint, and he's so big and talented from the work of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You see the fruits of his labor.
Here's Landry inside. Punched out by Okafor. Jack will put up a three. Rebound, Okafor. Losing it inside.
How about this? Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant, even not on the floor. He's got a 21-point lead.
Why would you bring him back in?
No need. That ankle not 100%.
Barnes, long two. Landry the rebound. A drive. Nice looking play right there. I'll tell you what, Paul had a little bit in the tank on that particular drive.
And this is what we saw in games 1 and 4. The speed, the agility, the quickness of Chris Paul. Look how he splits here. There's two purple jerseys there and one trailing. How about the contact and able to get the ball up on the floor?
Oh, here comes Kobe. He's going to come back in with Artest and Gasol. There goes Bynum. There goes Brown. There goes Barnes. And here comes Ariza back in. He'll take the place of Jarrett Jack. Chris Paul at the free throw line for New Orleans.
And I think what Phil Jackson is saying right here by bringing back Powell and Kobe, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to put this game away.
Kobe sat 18 minutes of real time, not clock game time, but real time. And the Lakers were +7 with him sitting out. Approaching 5 to play in the game. Test tonight quiet, 2 of 6, but he's played so well in this series. Odom's had a good game. Fisher with some early scoring. Gasol trying to plummet himself inside. Powell is 4 of 10 tonight. He's got 12. Ariza just picked up his 3rd personal foul with 5:07 to play. The last 3 postseasons, Los Angeles, Reggie, has played on the road 11 times, right? Facing a closeout game. 11 times facing a team where they could eliminate. 11 times. They've won 10 of those 11 chances in the last 3 years. Yeah. Not too bad a percentage.
Yeah, I believe that one loss was to the Houston Rockets with Carl Landry on that team. They eventually went 7 games. But you're right. Between Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant, you have 2 of the ultimate closers. You understand when you have a team at the brink, you never want to give them life, and they just find ways to win ball games.
Lakers have hit their last 19 consecutive free throws. Superb free throw shooting for both teams. 21 of 22 for the Lakers, 13 of 14 for New Orleans. Under 5 to play. Chris Paul's got 7. They go inside, and they're looking for Landry, who tries to grind his way for a close-in shot. Gasol was in there reaching and picked up his 3rd personal foul. We continue to study the play of Chris Paul, who's played 39 minutes tonight. And in losses, this is what has happened.
Well, look, he's been brilliant and superhuman in the 2 wins. And though he has scored almost 21 points and almost 10 assists in the losses, you know, without David West and probably another, 10 to 15 point scorer on this team, this Hornets was going to be undermanned against the size and the skill level and the coaching of Phil Jackson and the Lakers.
Monty Williams, who was a rookie with head coach Pat Riley and assistant Jeff Van Gundy with the New York Knicks. So with Charles Oakley, his roommate, was Heisman Trophy winner out of Florida State, Charlie Ward. To save money as rookies, they roomed together. You could pay extra, at that time in the NBA to get your own room, but they said, let's save our money, we'll room together, which they did. As Ariza tries to stop the bleeding nose, or is it just underneath? I can't tell if it's on his upper lip or it is. It's honestly got cut in the upper lip.
We're talking about Monty Williams and Charlie Ward and sharing a room and so forth. He's like, look, we were so tired from the Pat Riley practices. we would just come back and go to sleep.
Yep.
You know, Jeff Van Gundy wouldn't call any fouls during practices, and he was. We talked about the play of Jason Smith and the hard foul. He's like, during practice one time, and I was going in for an uncontested layup, and Charles Oakley just took me out. Jeff Van Gundy didn't call a foul. He says he got up, he ran to half court and tackled Charles Oakley. And he says from then on, as a rookie, Charles Oakley and him were tight. And he's like, that's what it took. Sometimes you've got to make a stand. And I think that his leadership as being a rookie coach, that is going to be infectious on this team as they move forward.
Landry acquired at the trade deadline. How fortuitous for this team, because when West went down, Landry was plugged in his place. Fisher, he's got 6. Test is 2 of 6 with 4, but 5 rebounds and 5 assists for Ron.
That's 2 different players between David West and Carl Landry. You're
Yes,
talking about
I know.
an all-star.
Hold up. Kobe wrapped.
This is the problem sometimes with bringing back your superstars when you're up almost 20 points.
Landry picked up his 3rd.
I know you're trying to close the game well and make statements, but why risk it? You know, Kobe Bryant, he can play through pretty much anything.
Remember early in the series, in game 1, Bryant fell after taking a shot, hit his head area on the edge of a chair in Staples Center, so the neck is already sore. He's had neck issues, in fact, this season, and Kobe here at the line with an 8 of 8 night and a Laker high 22 points. In fact, it is a game high 22 points. Phil Jackson is ticked off. And here comes Barnes in the game.
And for the Lakers,
Bryant at the line.
This guy can play through pretty much anything.
I agree.
You know, his resolve and his mind over matter.
To me, the change in this entire series was his 2nd quarter dunk in Los Angeles the other night. The series spun. They took a lead on that, one they would never relinquish, and that really turned it back to the Lakers. Let's see if that continues if they win tonight throughout their postseason run. But that might be a mark of demarcation right there. Kobe with the steal. Bellinelli was defending Ariza. Call for 3. It is a 88-71 ball game with under 4 to play. Do they have another run in them?
We're going to see. There's a little under 4 minutes left here. They've stepped up their defensive pressure here, but is it going to be enough? You got to come up with stops.
Bryant one-on-one against Ariza. Shot clock at 5. Kobe. Gasol taps it up and in. Pau Gasol guarding the rim, 16 points and 7 rebounds.
42-30 points in the paint advantage Lakers.
Huge.
Second chance point where we just saw 21-4.
Ball to Landry. Now Kobe handling the ball and gives it off to Lamar Odom. Off the bench tonight with 14 points for Lamar. 5 of 10, 3 of 4 from the stripe, and 8 rebounds. Good game for Odom, a 6-man award winner in the NBA. Under 3. Kobe, 6 of 16. 2 to shoot. Kobe will not count. Shot clock violation. Timeout LA. Moments ago, Chris Paul.
Since you talk about walking the tightrope right here, finding Carl Landry for the easy finish.
Lakers trying to eliminate the pesky New Orleans Hornets in a lead right now. Coming up, it'll be Brandon Roy and the Portland Trail Blazers taking on the Dallas Mavericks in Game 6 up in Portland. That Game 4 win Roy was terrific. The fourth quarter was sensational with 18. Coming up next on TNT, Bellinelli for 3. 14-point game.
Now you just need stops, get a chance to set your defense. They're going to have to do this without Kobe Bryant. Phil Jackson taking out Kobe.
Shannon Brown has taken his place. Shot clock at 9. Gasol and Landry. New Orleans on a little 8-2 run right now. Shot clock at 3. Powell. All got a hand on it. And here comes New Orleans. Fisher. Defending ball. Inside. Landry fouled by Barnes. Hard as Ariza threw it in to the former Boilermaker.
Ronnie Garrison, they're going to huddle up and see if was this excessive contact. Was Barnes going, trying to make a play on the ball here. Landry does a good job of.
Third on Barnes.
That's a good playoff foul. I love it.
I agree.
That's a good playoff foul.
We have a 14-point game with about 2 to play in regulation in New Orleans as we send it to you. Oh, been told not to do it. Told one thing, do another. Landry at the line.
You do what you want to do, partner.
I tried to, and I got arrested. I couldn't do it. I tried to.
You run things out here.
Free throws for the Hornets, 16 of 17. For the Lakers, 23 of 24. So the Lakers have won the battle of the paint. They got the battle at the line. They've out-rebounded them by 11. They have fewer turnovers. Bryant leads them with 24. They got 14 off the bench from Odom.
The way the Hornets are playing the last 4 or 5 minutes here of this fourth period is how they should have started this game. Picking up their pressure, trapping, being aggressive.
Brown. Landry took a swipe at him. That is a foul. 1:57 to play. Lakers will be at the line in the form of Shannon Brown. They've hit, the Lakers have 21 consecutive free throws. Sunday MLB on TBS returns with Sunday afternoon baseball. AL East showdown between the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock Eastern Time live from Yankee Stadium on TBS.
Lakers 17 of 18 from the free throw line.
Willie Green picked up his second personal foul.
Kobe Bryant, Andrew Bynum resting here.
So they finished 46 and 36. They welcome back Chris Paul, who missed a great portion of last year with the blown knee, came back. His numbers were down, but he was terrific at times in this particular series, getting ready for the postseason. They had a new head coach in Monty Williams. You can see the free agents coming up, including the injured David West. Landry has been an asset. Marco Bellinelli in that free agent category. We have a timeout in the Big Easy. Lakers are circling over a win which would end this series in 6 games. A little bit further than people thought it would go. A lot of people were predicting sweep for the number 2 seeded 2-time defending champions. And here comes a knock away by Gasol, the diving Fisher, a timeout taken by Derek, who started strong with his 6 points, 3 of 4 start. They really have not needed much there. That's the 15th turnover for the New Orleans Hornets. We have another timeout with 1:45 to play.
One thing that's very interesting on that Dirk Nowitzki and Kobe have never faced one another. All the battles they've had during the regular seasons ever in the playoffs. So that would be compelling. And we know there's a history. That's right here. Look at the offensive foul shove there by Pau Gasol in the chest of Landry.
4 fouls on Powell. Chris Paul tonight, 42 minutes, 4 of 9, 10 points, 11 assists. Bellinelli over Gasol. Rebound by Matt Barnes. Plus 12 in rebounding now, the Lakers.
Monty Williams is going to empty his bench. I'm so impressed with Monty Williams, rookie head coach, and this undersized, undermanned team. If this playoffs did anything for the Hornets, as Matt Barnes gets a 3 to go. And there were so many questions about Chris Paul and the hierarchy of where he is in the point guard discussion. And today, because of the situation and what he did in this series, you have to say he's one of the top 3-4 point guards in the game.
Timeout. We'll take a break from New Orleans. At break, they got a standing ovation, did these Hornets. As you take a look at Chris Paul, they've brought in Pat Ewing and Gray and Jason Smith. Picked up by Gasol. You know, the NBA assumed ownership of this Hornets team 4 months ago. And that becomes an ongoing story here in New Orleans. Their appreciation, though, another sellout. They sold out every playoff game. Here in the Big Easy. Trey Johnson is coming for Los Angeles. Joe Smith is in as well as Barnes. Knocked down the triple. And that was Pondexter who takes it inside. Quincy Pondexter from the University of Washington. Lakers will have about a 4-hour flight from Louisiana back to Southern California, and they will await the winner of Dallas and the Portland Trail Blazers.
Much needed rest for Kobe Bryant in that ankle until that semifinal round starts.
Lakers have won, and they will advance to the next round. The New Orleans Hornets are finished in this year's NBA postseason. Kobe Bryant led Los Angeles with 24 points, 10 of 10 from the free throw line. He played 30 minutes. They got 18 from Bynum, who was great with 12 rebounds. As you take a look at the updated brackets now in the Western Conference, Oklahoma City awaits the winner of San Antonio, Memphis. That will be tomorrow on ESPN. So we know 2 of the final 4 in the Western Conference. Lakers tonight shot 46%. Turned it over 13 times and out-rebounded New Orleans by 13. We talked last game how Monty Williams admires the coach of the Lakers, Phil Jackson, so much. In fact, studies tape of him and tries to emulate a lot of the things that Jackson has done, both during games and practice and away from the game. So that'll do it. They were excited here in New Orleans for their team to make the postseason. They drew the Lakers, the 2-time defending champions, and they lose in 6. Reg, a real pleasure. We'll see you down the road.
Yes, sir, partner.
For Reggie Miller and Cheryl Miller, Kevin Harlan saying so long from New Orleans, Louisiana. After this break, we'll go to Portland, Oregon for Game 6 between the Mavericks and the Portland Trail Blazers. You're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT.